Good evening, you lovely people. How are we all today? It is a lovely evening, a very chilly winter's night, just how I like it. We're joined by Shadow this evening, not Gizmo, who I think you can probably hear snoring his head off. I bore him that much. Joking. We just carry on sleeping now, Robs. So this week we are going to be covering Belas Knap Longbarrow, also known as a fairy mound apparently. It's in Cheltenham, has a few paranormal experiences as well, which is quite cool. So I'm hoping, I have a long list of places I want to go and do paranormal investigations in the spring and summer, once it's obviously safe to do so. I go with David, who owns EWS Paranormal. We go out together and he drags his partner out, Tracy, as well, bless her. So hopefully, I've never been before, so I really want to go after this, after hearing about it, and it's quite interesting and fascinating. Excuse Shadow snoring. So Belas Knap Longbarrow is a Neolithic chamber Longbarrow situated on Cleve Hill in Cheltenham, but for some reason someone's got it as Wiltshire, but it's not, it's Cheltenham. If you Google it, there's a just go Belas Knap Longbarrow, it comes up with Wiltshire for some unknown reason when it's not, it's Gloucestershire. But anyway, I digress, I apologise. Okay, so it features a false entrance and independently accessible side entrances. So the impressive entrance is a dummy, and the burial chambers are entered from the sides of the barrow. I think I've got photos. So the impressive entrance is a dummy, and the burial chambers are entered from the side entrances. And when completely covered in dirt, the main entrance is completely invisible from the outside. So it's probably constructed around 3000 BC and was used for burials over a number of years, when it was eventually stopped being used for burials, and all the entrances were completely covered by dirt. They were deliberately blocked. So different opinions for the false front entrance may have been used to deter robbers, because we know, especially ancient Egyptian times, there were grave robbers, as it were, who would go in for, so traditionally back then you'd bury people to help them go on to what they would need to go on into the afterlife, and I'm assuming it would be the same over here as it was ancient Egypt. Sounds like a traditional thing that all cultures used to do. But I don't think this is the case with here, because of all the archaeological digs that have happened, little to nothing of value has been found in any of the chambers. Could also be that a false entrance was a spirit door, which fits with the fairy mound, and people think it was used by fairies. But it was also intended to allow the dead to come and go as they please and partake of offerings and tributes brought to the tomb by their descendants. So their nieces, nephews, sons, daughters, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, you get the idea. Right, okay. I'm just going to say Roman pottery from Britain. So it wouldn't be the Romans were here, because I just can't, for some reason, say Romano-British. That's it. Pottery. And so it was found inside one of the burial chambers, which proves it was used during Roman times as well. So it's obviously had quite a long period of use. So it was explored between 1863 and 1865. Using the archaeological methods of the time, so I don't think it's as intricate, and they obviously don't, it's 150 years, so they don't have what we do now. It was later restarted again by a Mrs. Emma Dent of I never know if I say it right. So in 1928 to 1930 it was restored as it is seen today, so nearly 100 years ago, and it has stayed and it's been looked after. So during the 19th century excavations, the false entrance was covered and the remains of 6 people or skeletons. I tend to call them people because it is their bodies and they were people, even if it is only bones left. So apologies if I get it wrong, but that's how I say it. So 5 were infants, thought to be from the early Bronze Age. So the northeastern chamber contained 12 burials, the western chamber 14 burials, and the southern chamber just 1, which is interesting. So the southeastern chamber had 2 men and 2 women, along with animal bones and flint artifacts. A circle of flat stones beneath the centre of the mound was also found, but they were later removed. I don't know why. I have tried looking to find out why. Not got a clue. So there's also the theory that it's a fairy mound, and it's supposedly of spiritual, supernatural importance. And it sounds like it is. When I've done a little bit of research into paranormal experiences here, it sounds like, again, monks. So experiences include phantom myths, disappearing visitors, and a feeling of being watched. So every paranormal experience that I've read of about this area, everyone's had a sense of being watched. So if we get that, that would be cool. So one visitor, she looked across the fields and watched a group of monks approach the barrow. So one visitor looked across the field and she saw a group of monks approach the barrow. She left for a few minutes, and when she came back, it was like the scene had changed. So the grass was shorter, the different trees, less trees, and the field just looked different. And of course the figures had vanished. She also noticed a small patch of mist on a separate occasion in the same place they'd seen the monks appear, just next to the mound. They took photos, so they obviously took cameras, so she's had quite a couple of experiences here. So she took photos, and of course nothing appeared in the photos, which normally things do if they want to be documented. They will appear in photos or video. And she and her husband, I think it sounds like they go there quite a lot. They frequent it like a lot. I think they live nearby, or I think they walk their dog, or they just like to, yeah, chill. But every time they have been, they've always thought that they were being watched. So I found somewhere that Belas Knap is thought to derive from the ancient god Baal. Now we know Baal was ancient Egyptian. It's been used quite a lot in mythology, as well as modern times, like TV shows Stargate SG-1, and where they used ancient Egyptians and based the whole thing off the pyramids were built by aliens and stuff like that, which didn't even involve the pyramids, but I digress. So the road leading up to the Knap is also said to be haunted by a blue figure which unnerves drivers and it steps into their paths, which is quite interesting. So fingers crossed, guys, we can, Dave and I and Tracy can get there this summer, being everything is safe, and we will be doing paranormal investigation. If we do, I will, providing it's not hours long, I will put it on my YouTube channel and on my Facebook. Oh, will I? I decided to wake up. Thanks for joining me this week, guys. Keep safe, love each other, and I will see you next week. Bye.